Yes, sir. We are back with another episode of Rigged NBA. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Man, we have had the wackiest stuff happen in this game already. Tyrese Halliburton injured, not returning in a game 7. We've had Kevin Durant getting traded to the Rockets. And it's ironic because he completes the script. He is the third Rockets player, or should I say Rockets MVPs, out of MVP stars, to go to the Houston Rockets. We know how this is going to go. First round or second round exit. This is Kevin Durant for you. This game right here, Indy is up by 1. They are plus 5.5 on FanDuel right now. But I don't see them coming back in this game. Will they make a game out of it? Sure, it looks like they're on that track to do so anyway. But they put in Scott Foster to make things have a little bit more control, I guess. Have a little bit more control in the game. Because you know how notorious Scott Foster is for bullshit calls. This is the first game 7 since the 2016 Cavs 3-1 comeback. This obviously wasn't a 3-1 comeback. I don't expect Indy to win this game if I ain't say that already. And they ended up, OKC, that is ended up getting blown out in game 6 in Indy, giving the fans a lot of hope. Trying to persuade bettors to go more towards Indy to win the series. And I mean, in that game, you knew shit wasn't right when Siakam was looking like the Undertaker with the eyes rolled back. And he was playing possessed. He went full demon mode, posterizing 2 defenders for OKC. 2 of them. And last time I checked, Halliburton was supposed to be injured going into game 6. He was questionable. Couldn't really tell then, but that's how it's gone. And like I said before, with his injury, every NBA star that wore number 0 in this playoff, guess what? They just so happened to injure their Achilles. Dame, Tatum, now Halliburton. And like the title says, Adam Silverfish, he got desperate. He knew that the ratings were trash. He's trying to gaslight the fans. A lot of the fans talking about, oh, the ratings are so good. No, they're not. They haven't been good. A lot of people did not want to see this due to the lack of superstar power in the matchup. Obviously, one angle is small market teams versus big market, but that's more so for casual fans. So the best thing they can do is put it to a game 7, a close game 7, to make it seem like, see, the game was close. It was a success in his words. And we know the ESPN coverage has fallen off of a damn cliff. Bad. Let's see what some of these comments saying. Big B says scripted injury may occur to Tyrese. Last Golden State Warriors final script may repeat. Max AC said Halliburton gonna come back. Nah, he ruled out, and yeah, they showed the video of the Achilles popping too. And I'm glad you brought that up, because there's been a couple things that came out in the last couple days, really last couple hours. One of the things I noticed was they had one of them fake leak scripts like they always do for the Super Bowl and what they like to do for the NBA Finals. This one right here, they got 131 Indy, 128 OKC. Failed to mention that this is supposedly the Pacers at home, even though clearly they're the road team in OKC. Trying to do whatever they can to get more people on the Pacers, I assume. And then later on in the day before the stream, I saw this. where they have the championship buses and everything warmed up and ready for OKC. So we shall see how this plays out, if it plays out to a T, which I expect it does. But they're gonna have to make it interesting to, I guess, soothe the doubts that it was rigged or scripted or anything like that. And actually, there was another fake leak script earlier in the series where they had the Thunder winning 4 games to 1. Obviously, that didn't happen. So there's just something to toss out there. This was near the beginning of the final, should I say. And speaking of them buses, somebody, I forgot who it was. I think it was Simple Truth was the one who posted it. But I remember looking up different things on like parades, championship parades, if they had any announcements ahead of time, and I saw a few OKC articles, but I didn't see any Indy championship ones. So that is odd, to say the least. So did Hallie sacrifice himself for the Pacers to win a chip? Nah, I wouldn't say he sacrificed himself. More so than anything, he is the quote-unquote fall guy, kind of like Durant was for the Warriors when they lost to the Raptors, when he got injured with an Achilles injury. So OKC finna go crazy second half. I hope not. I hope they make it a close game. Because it'd be like, what's the point in them getting down 1 just to go up by 20 in the blink of an eye and make the game a snooze fest? But then again, Adam Silver don't care about ratings, even though he'll cap all day about them. So you're praying for him. The road to recovery is going to be tough. Do you think the Pacers win the 201 connection? Yeah, they sold on the replay. What's good, Flat Power God in the building? That man Bronze, the OG, triple OG, double OG, quadruple OG, all that. But yeah, right now it's halftime. Like I said before, Pacers up by 1. And this ain't gonna be good, man, for Tyrese Halliburton. I think a lot of the talk this offseason, besides the free agency talk that's gonna be dominating, which it already is, the news, is gonna be this. What are the odds of Indiana returning? Is it gonna be at the pace of Halliburton's recovery from injury and all this stuff? Carion said this is linked to KD's trade and deeper things. Yeah, it's not a coincidence that the team that was obviously mentioned was OKC. The man said he sung in church today, had just bow tie, but you ain't gonna lie, you seen some fine shit in church. It'd be like that. So who wins, Indy or OKC? Amon, I'm taking OKC on this one. Thunder, rolling Thunder in this one. Indy, what they got going for them is really just beating all the odds. That's really about it. The adversity of being counted out in every, not necessarily every series, but most of the series is. This one as well too. And how the adversity now as their star player goes down, how do they answer that if they were to win? So imagine if the NBA added an extra 8 or 9 games out, so would be out of his mind. That would just fuel for more players sitting out. That's all that would do. It will further justify this load management culture. It's like, oh, there's too many games now. They're already saying they need to shorten the schedule, and then on top of that, you do this. They're like, oh, we need to play less games if you're gonna add more games. It's like, no, that's not what you want. And on top of that, people usually don't tune in to the NBA, until like the last couple weeks of the season, then the playoffs. See the NBA pushing the Knicks next year. I mean, they did that this year if you think about it. Karl Anthony Towns. At first, the trade was questionable. Julius Randle for Cat. They went as far as they've gone in a long time, but I don't think so. Besides, just being another contender team that ain't gonna do nothing. Appreciate it, King Norvell. Appreciate it. Say Thunder should have took out the Pacers in 5. I agree. Silver just want to drag this boring shit out. Yes. everything, like I said before, trying to do anything to dispel any bad ratings talk or anything like that. Derek said we about to get our first chip. Thunder up. This man Bird cracking me up, man. Yes. You weren't having it that one night. You were not having it. You're like, man, I gotta go to work. The most superstars load manage off the court. LeBron load manages both off and on the court. Hell yeah, he don't be playing no defense. Harden Westbrook once played in H-Town. Now Kevin Durant joins the connection, along with the other players, like I mentioned, Jeff Green and Steven Adams. So damn funny. He said the Knicks are a big market. They don't need to win anything. Exactly. They generate so much revenue as it is. They don't necessarily need to win. They can just push them as a team that they fans hang on to hope that they can win, when in reality they not. We saw that this year. We saw what type of fans the Knicks can be when they actually have hope of some kind. So it depends on what happens tonight's game with the score and combined score. Don't really look at the score, think about the lottery numbers. All right, we back. Third quarter underway. Tyrese Halliburton, lower leg injury. Won't be returning. OKC got the ball. They just dribbling out the clock for the time being. Shea takes a horrible late three. Looks like he was expecting to get fouled, like usual. And it's the perfect referee to do it. Scott Foster. If you want to do all that stuff and they let Shea get away with the flopping and stuff, this is the guy to do it. Just imagine if Chris Paul was on the court for one of them teams. That is cap, Blackbird. You know that is super cap. See it from Ice Age. Come on. I see the leaked script where there was a few double-decker buses wrapped. Yeah, right here. Right there. To how convenient Halliburton goes down. Exactly. Did we see it pop? Yes. But even then, in a game 7, it's super fucking fishy. It didn't happen in any other game. What's good, Des Dixon? Said NBA giving Shea a whistle. Exactly. I think if they gonna trail Indy for, say, most of the third quarter, they gonna go on one of them runs with them 3-pointers. And then OKC gonna get away with a lot of harassment defense. Gonna be like Alex Caruso or something like that, clearly fouling them, and then they gonna end up getting some rebounds, easy points off turnovers, layups, things like that. You can already see Rick Carlisle, he getting pissed. You can see by the foul calls and shit. He like, man, it's some bullshit. Siakam knocked down the 3. They down by 1. So do I think Giannis will lead the Bucks this offseason? If so, where do I think he'll fit? I do think he gonna leave right now. Obviously, Miami is one of the teams. LA. I don't see him really fitting in with the Spurs. Golden State would be, decent. But I don't think he could coexist with, say, a Draymond Green or a Jimmy Butler for that, man. I think it's just too many personalities for that to work. But yeah, that's the one I'm kind of more up in the air about. Yeah, and it's funny because CP3 was Shea's veteran. Okay, see up by 3. So if Tyrese ends up pulling a Willis Reed return during the game, this will make it too obvious. It would, and it really raised a lot of questions if he's already been ruled out for the game, which I don't see him coming back. But if he did, then it would raise other issues about the league being rigged and things like that. I don't know how he made that shot. I thought for a second J-Dub's shot was definitely going to get blocked. He said, I want it. That's what Jalen said. J-Dub said, I want it. And he's slick been playing good as hell in his finals, too. It's just he overshadowed by SGA. He off that DMV dust kush. Say Dort acting like he prime Clayton Thompson or Klay Thompson. He had his moments, yeah, for sure. His biggest thing is he known for hurting players and stuff. Said KD should just retire. Apparently he didn't completed the rainbow. Looking at the different jerseys, somebody put some shit out. They was like he played for the Nets, now the Rockets, Suns with the different colored jerseys, the Warriors, OKC, now Houston. Yeah, he didn't completed the rainbow just like Shaq. And he ain't getting no rings with this team. They're going to sell some jerseys and that's it. Say Giannis to OKC if they lose. Boy, that would be something. You know how many futures would be on OKC if that happened? Like right after the finals, win or lose, Giannis goes there, they would definitely have them as the favorites going into next year. So Angel Reese look different from day to day, post to post as a matter of fact, but can't go coast to coast. I wouldn't be surprised, man. That's what he usually does. Or before that, he will get one of his former teammates from another team to join. Like how he had Harden join the team with the Nets when they really didn't even need him, and it just messed up what they had with Kyrie and him. Giannis to the Warriors, they did tease that for a minute. They have teased that for a long time. It's kind of like LeBron to the Lakers. That was talk for a few years before he actually left. You know, off-season talks, LeBron going to the Lakers. Of course, he gonna deny it. I ain't do it, even though you got a house out there. You being more active in Hollywood out there. We see it. We see the writing on the wall. Kevin Durant with Golden State. They were talking about that the off-season before it even happened. And mid-season, I remember on NBA on TNT, they mentioned that about Kevin Durant being in talks with the Warriors and Steve Kerr. And then lo and behold, after they blew a 3-1 lead in the playoffs to the Warriors, guess what happened? Seen those videos how special NBA doctors end up repairing the player's injury like nothing ever happened. You think those videos got pulled off the internet. The last one I can think of seeing was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Whenever his knee looked like he hyperextended his knee against the Hawks in the playoffs. And then by game 2, this nigga back hooping like a motherfucker. Dropping 50. And it's like, I just saw your knee bend the way it wasn't supposed to. Shit look like a horse leg. And now you out here driving in the paint like nothing ever happened. So he buying one of them KD Rockets jerseys. So he's still trying to find success without Curry. He getting individual success, but that's really about it. So OKC going down like the Warriors did in 2016. That would be something. If they did lose this game, that Halliburton meme would be going crazy. Even if he don't even finish the game. Because he'd be like, y'all was up 3-2. Say KD gonna get the coach fired. Yeah, he do that shit. He do that shit. He don't do it as much as LeBron, but he definitely does do it. And he's damn near as bad about the team hopping and things like that. Obviously, he don't do all the extra shit, but still, he about just as bad as LeBron at this point with that. And he might not necessarily directly throw teams on the bus like LeBron, but we didn't see the pattern. So OG Bo, hell yeah. KD trade gets announced today. Now Halliburton gets an Achilles. Just like Kevin Durant did, yep. Not a coincidence. 4-point game. OKC up 56-52. Said Bron better than KD. I don't know about all that now. I do not know about all that. I'd say who's tarnished their legacy the worst. Then you could say maybe KD over LeBron. Because even if you bring up the championship, it's like you got the 2 easiest rings. That's going to be the number one argument. Other one's going to be every other team you went to that didn't win a championship. Indy looks so bad offensively when Tyrese Halliburton ain't in there, even though they just made this shot. Like just the fluidity of the half court offense. It just don't look what's the word? I don't want to say believable, but it just shows they really should be getting beat by a lot more. New from the KD trade happening today. It was a Thunder ritual. I ain't forget, man. You know I ain't gonna forget that. The how's Dell doing, man? He been good, you know. Busy working, things like that. Yeah, I know it's been a minute since y'all seen us two on the stream together and things like that. But yeah, we still chop it up and stuff. And got some things in the works dropping later this week, so stay tuned for that. Why would you pass that? Should have just went up for it and expected to get fouled. Making him from 3 now, OKC. Three of LeBron's 4 rings were on stacked teams too. The Heat. 2 of 4 were in shortened seasons. Lakers. LeBron having twice as many rings isn't that much better than KD in that respect, if we keep it real. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'll say that, the main argument is just going to be KD's 2 that don't count versus LeBron's 3 that don't count. So Cosgrove made a video on players' NBA injuries along with those special doctors fixing the Mach 5 athletes. I know he's got a lot of different rabbit hole NBA videos and stuff like that. It was something he made when I first got into this stuff. I cannot remember the name of the video. But that was like the first one that really, I guess, introduced me to other avenues of rig sports. So Kyrie and Ray Allen saved LeBron's ass. Yeah, they did. And they act like Kyrie didn't do shit. It's the block, and they won. That's funny. So when you was growing up, you saw Achilles tear every 10 years. Now it happens every week. That's what makes it so weird. Is it's always the star players when this happens. It's never the role players that this happens to, especially in the playoffs. And they always make sure it's at like the seemingly most innocent time when you wouldn't even think it'd be a huge deal, like say the second quarter of a game, the first quarter, and then you see what happens the rest of the game, even if they are winning when the star player goes down. You say he's still crying about that 2012 Defensive Player of the Year. Dirk clipped him in 2011. Yeah. That's one of the things he can't live down. Like, even when Kevin Durant was in the finals, he didn't play that bad. He actually made LeBron his bitch a couple times, but you know what they gonna say. But I will say this, both of them will not be in the finals anymore. That's LeBron and Kevin Durant. They are first and second round exit bound at this point. They've done all they can do right now. It's over with. It's time for the young guns to get their rings. But OKC waking up. Yeah, when they went on that little streak of them threes and they were scoring them easy points. Oh, for sure. And on top of that, they getting more favorable calls too. That's one thing looking at Halliburton's is he wearing low tops. If you hooping, you don't really want to wear low tops. You can really risk messing up your ankles. No support, no protection, things like that. Shit, some of these Nike shoes. That's why a lot of athletes are switching from Nike and going to something else. Y'all saw what happened with Zion Williams when his shoe ripped. And a bunch of other players who had issues with their shoes. So sure, they might look nice, but on top of that, they cheaply made. You remember when Kyrie exposed the NBA using magnets and the ball on the rim? When was this? I'm curious. Was on one of his lives we playing GTA? Yeah, I remember that shit too. They did. The first time we know they got swept. That's the one a lot of people tried to just give him a pass for and act like it didn't happen. And then they lost 4-1 because, you know, LeBron had cramps. So he gonna be wearing a dress. We'll see, man. I ain't seen it happen yet, but we'll see. I say first he cut his braids, go with like a low haircut, then we might see him in a dress. But from the looks of it, he's content with being nigga famous. Like he's not gonna be, you know, the safe choice at quarterback like a Josh Allen, a Pat Mahomes, a Joe Burrow. Nah, he is the Michael Vick of this era. He's for the niggas, for lack of a better term. He's accepted that. That's why you see him in shows like Raising Kanan. That's why you see Lamar on things like Could Have Been Records. And it's crazy the NFL even reposted that. Say Dirk never wanted to play basketball. Rabbit hole gets crazy deep. Just like how Yao Ming never wanted to play Joker. That's another one. He just wanted to be with his horses. He just happened to be good at basketball. Kyrie and Steph done. Yeah, they showed last year they done with Kyrie after them finals. They're like, yeah, nah. We let you get back, but that was it. You're going to lose to your former team or one of your former teams. Steph, number 4, was the one that was clearly the send-off. And then the cherry on top was the Olympic gold medal, too. Shea shooting a lot of threes, keeping the team in the game. Keeping the other team that is in the game. Brick. We need them drone bullies that be going to them basketball courts. Just be talking shit to people for no reason. You know you can't shoot that. That's a brick. You too far away. Get 2 feet under the basket. So we know that Adam Silver invested way too much money in this OKC project to have them lose. And they announced they want a new arena too. That's the plan. So of course it makes sense. Yeah, especially like in that fourth quarter when they down, they get that target number 13. They start hitting threes. Neesmith, Nembhard, any of it. Siakam start hitting threes. They're gonna make it close. Hell, TJ McConnell might hit a couple threes. They're gonna have to make it close. Said the Kyrie said the NBA was coming for him after dropping the truth how it's rigged and him saying the earth is flat. Steph Curry said the same thing. Yeah, he said something about the moon landing and apologized about that. I think that was a little bit after Kyrie said the flat earth thing at All-Star Weekend. Steph apologized and obviously won the champion. Or no, they lost. Lost 3-1. Same year that he talked about the moon landing not being real. But yeah, it ain't been right for Kyrie ever since he said that flat earth thing. So it was over when they signed Caruso. What's good, Caleb? Niggas thought Kyrie won a championship last year. Nah, they weren't gonna let that happen, bro. So McConnell going Super Saiyan. So when we thought Miami would have hit the reset button by now and rebuild the team to find the next franchise player after the D Wade era, they're one of them teams they don't rebuild. They very rarely do it. They kind of did it before they got Jimmy Butler, but even then it became a win now situation as soon as he got there. But yeah, they really don't do that. They usually have a bunch of players that if they don't have star players like a LeBron, a Bosh, D Wade, Jimmy Butler, guess you can say Tyler Hero, depending on the day of the week, or Bam, it's just a bunch of role players that manage to stay in contention quietly. That they make it close in I almost said the Steelers. The Pacers steal it and ruin the script. That would be great. Hey, that'd be cool to see Indy beat OKC, especially on a late run, but I don't think so with the Halliburton injury. The Giants to the plus with your boy Jackson Dart in that thing. Your favorite quarterback, Bird, Jackson Dart. The Halliburton injury scripted. Yes, I say it was scripted. Did he actually get hurt? I say yes. But the timing couldn't have been any more suspect. To McConnell turn the game 7 Kai. Damn, Caruso really tried to end that nigga career. He went for the Dwight Howard slam dunk slam. That's another reason too. It already started with the flat earth, but yeah, whenever they had this whole saga going on, yeah, it got worse. Because he was a talking point the whole time on First Take. No matter what he did, he could have. I remember they got on him about eating a fruit cup on the sideline. Like, let that nigga eat them mixed fruits and shit. Who cares? Like, how can Kyrie Irving do that? What? Maybe nigga needs some energy, Nigga needs some calories. He ain't throw it at a fan. He didn't throw it on the court. 9-point game, OKC. Trying to take him to the Caruso. People thought Michael Beasley would be the next franchise player for Miami. Yeah, that situation wasn't even going to be overall beneficial because, I mean, if you expect to be the next franchise player, you already got Chris Bosh, LeBron James, D Wade ahead of you. You're going to be stunted in a way. And then some things he did himself did not help the situation, whether it be failing drug tests, legal issues, things like that too. And he was an easy target for the media to crucify. And usually once the media is against you like that super early, it ain't really much you can do to change it around. Pacers like OKC scored 28 in the third. Pacers, no, they going home empty-handed. Yeah, it was close. It was back and forth. Andy was taking the lead back sometimes. The lead changes. And now they getting them threes pushed out. So he looked like The Rock. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't see the big deal in it. Like, they be hungry. They eat at halftime sometimes too, so. Oh, well. I forgot who it was they caught on camera picking in their nose. I don't know if it was Mark Sanchez or it was Mark Grunell. I know one of them. They got caught digging in their nose and like wiping on the towel. What's good, LeBrie? What's good with you? NBA draft this Wednesday. I really don't care about NBA, NFL draft, any of those. The only thing that usually comes out of, especially NBA, big time trades. Which, I mean, I can just watch on a ticker. I don't need to watch every single player, especially some of these overseas players I've never heard of. And hell, some of these college players, I'm like, I don't even remember dude playing for this school. Because it's funny, it's always the players that, more times not, they not the ones that super performed in the tournament. It'd be some player from some school. I'm like, did they even make the tournament? And that's how it be. Yeah, they ain't gonna bring that up. unless they get him on ESPN for one of them shows. Which I've noticed the trend when players transition to media. It's funny, they do it a little different now. They usually collab with, say, streamers. You might see them on the internet there. They got their own podcast at first. And then next thing you know, you blinking, now they on ESPN or something ESPN adjacent, like Jeff Teague on Pat McAfee show. Obviously got his own podcast. Shumpert, same thing. We saw him in Vlad interviews, his podcast, other interviews. ESPN. Beasley, I don't know. Beasley, you don't know what he gonna say. But you see him, he working with the streamers now. After the Lance Stevenson 101, and you're seeing him more and more now. You might see that nigga on ESPN. Who knows? Like him and I don't know, Gilbert Arenas at the same time, or him and Jeff Teague, because they both cool with each other. Well, I think about Cooper Flag. I think Cooper Flag, he gonna be another big star they want to push. Kind of like Wemby, he gonna get the Wemby treatment a little bit. But I need to see him, how he does in the NBA first. Is it gonna be like the Chet Holmgren thing? Oh, he needs to put on some weight. He not ready for the NBA. How's it gonna be? Or is he gonna be a Porzingis? A lot of hype and then a lot of high expectation, and then thought you were the second coming of Dirk Nowitzki. Never mind, you're not. But it's a good thing he landed in Dallas, assuming that's where he goes, over Utah. Jackson Pennies? Nah, that ain't Jackson Pennies, my boy. OKC up 11. Somebody letting OKC win over Indy. OKC just so happens to have the MVP of the league, international player, which they love to have those international players to push, especially lately in the last 7 years or so. Really going in overdrive for that. And they desperately need some type of new face, and right now they're just putting in placeholders. On top of that, OKC is mentioned they want a new arena. So you want to make sure that you keep fans supporting, like what's the word I'm looking for? Give the fans hope that they can win another one. So are they becoming a Missouri thing with OKC? No. Rick Carlisle, he getting hot, boy. He getting mad through refs. He's like, man, I'm sick of this shit. Horrible jacked up 3-2 by Indy. And mind you, they only have 2 timeouts. Something to stress. OKC has 5. Indy has 2 timeouts, and we're not even in the fourth quarter yet. So who had the most talent to be a superstar outside of D-Rose draft class? OJ Mayo had the ceiling potential, but they banned him with the drug policy. Who is somebody? I say if he didn't have the knee issues, Brandon Roy, obviously he did good in his 6 years in the NBA, but Brandon Roy would have been one of them ones. That's someone I think of kind of in that D-Rose situation or something like that that stunted his growth, because that man was in his prime. So OKC won't win for a while after this. Yeah. Those collabs are cap, Blackbird. Cap. So Siakam, your guy, but if the Pacers win, he might be MVP. If they did win, he should win it over Tyrese Halliburton. This man channeled the Undertaker to dunk on a nigga. Said Brandon Jennings. Really, after that 50-point game, it was people started keying in on. That was pretty much it. It was a wrap. And he was one of the first overseas come to the NBA type thing. One of those sensations, like Brandon Jennings is gonna be the next one. That's a lot of people thought. I feel like his timing was a little bit bad on the team he was with. But Monte Ellis, that's another one too. Like imagine if he had, say, a more in his prime Steph versus a rookie Steph. That backcourt would have been something. They mean McConnell will win MVP. That don't even sound right. That's like Iguodala winning the Finals MVP. It just don't sound right. So what I think about the Kevin Durant trade, same thing as usual when he goes to another team not named the Warriors. Early first round or second round exit. They're going to get a bunch of primetime games if it ain't been announced yet. Because the Rockets, they want to come up this year. They are returning playoff team. And now they got Kevin Durant, star power. Somebody they can push. Besides Dylan Brooks. Will Indy ever win a championship? That's a good question. I think this was their best year to do it. If they don't do it this year, it's going to be a while. Say Pacers role players been cooking this postseason. You hope they come back strong next year. They should. So D-Rose called out a bitch and it was over. That's what happens. You call out him, a couple other players, it's a wrap for you. It's a big what if Greg Odom. Yeah, when he was healthy, him, Brandon Roy, and Dame, yeah, they was a nasty combo. Or excuse me, not Dame, Aldridge. Brandon Roy, Aldridge, and Greg Odom, they were a crazy good combo. Portland was cursed at the time with injury before Lillard came in. It's like they curse now, even when they get a coach like Chauncey Billups, which I mean, he ain't been doing too good to begin with. They become an irrelevant team. Like as soon as Dame left, it's like no one even thinks about the Trailblazers, the Jazz, Hornets. There's a few teams like the Pelicans. So at least Porzingis has a ring. Yeah, that was the team where he barely played too. But he never reached his full ceiling in the NBA. Because he went from star player to role player. Or upper role player. So you love D-Rose coming up. You was a Bulls fan. I think a lot of people like D-Rose. Even if you weren't a Bulls fan, like they just respect the fact he's a hooper. Kind of like Michael Beasley. People always gonna respect Michael Beasley as a hooper, whether his NBA career turned out the way that it should have or shouldn't have. The D-Rose talked about them peds. But he tried to clean up and it was over because he said, yeah, all these NBA players on performance enhancers. Obviously, when you say all and then you see who you've been promoting as your star players, they the ones that gonna pop up in your head first. Oh, so Kevin Durant, I'm just naming names right now. Also Kevin Durant or also Kobe Bryant. I'm just saying people. LeBron James, things like that. Only way Indy wins a chip is with Caitlin Clark for real. Hey, that's the face of the league they want to push. They know viewership goes down when she's out. That's the main reason people tune into women's basketball. If anything involving the WNBA, she gonna get brought up in the conversation regardless of if their team is even playing. So you don't see the NFL giving AR5 or 15 a ring? Nah. He'll be lucky to still be starting in the NFL after a couple years. Fever could win this year. They're in the Commissioner Cup. I actually don't even know what the Commissioner Cup is for women's basketball. Is that like their version of the in-season tournament? Are they doing that terrible idea too? So they want OKC and Boston in the finals. So bad, but it would have been good to see the Celtics go back to back. I feel like we still would be seeing, it'd be a little bit more exciting, but we'd still be seeing a lot of free throws being shot. Hell, we see a lot more threes being shot with Boston in there too. They'd be shooting like 50 and 60 threes a game. Yeah, especially if Scott Foster was reffing the games, man, for sure. IR5 couldn't even beat out Daniel Jones. That's when you know you're screwed when he's your best option at quarterback right now. Say if bodies start dropping, Celtics will be in the finals. Sad but true. Be like a string of them that happened with the Celtics. So that's their version of the finals trophy. The commissioners. Okay, I got you. Got you. So what do I think about the R-Truth stuff still? They slipping a little bit with it. They start off good with him returning. They tried to cover their ass with the fact they wrongfully got rid of him. And it was a good build up to him and Cena. The only problem is they just using him to hype up the CM Punk John Cena match, which showed on SmackDown this past Friday. I was like, what? So y'all did all this build up with him jumping in random matches, Aleister Black and who would he jump in with? The tag team match at Money in the Bank. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. The tag team match at Money in the Bank. He cut his dreads and all this on Monday Night Raw. Went viral. Interviews going viral. Talking about who the fuck he talking to. Talking about Bully Ray. And you did all that for a 3-minute match where Cena hits him with the title again. But I'm just worried they're going to drop the ball again with that one. The theory is Derrick Rose didn't choose to go next level to superstardom. Then his injury came out and derailed his original play style. And he relied on more jump shots. I was just talking to somebody about that Don Imus clip yesterday with a couple of my friends. It's funny you brought that up. But yeah, they've been trying to do that. Try to push the ones a little bit more attractive. But I mean, most of them aren't. So that's the problem. So the finals are terrible. I agree. Home team winning the game 7 just good business. People buying in a good mood. Yep. That's why I say that 3-1 comeback thing is special. Really just linked to LeBron. Like players get certain things and career milestones that other ones don't, to kind of, I guess, separate them apart. And it's good for debates and stuff, for talking points on their shows. So it's the first time you didn't watch at all. I think the first time I really wasn't into the finals was that bubble year, because it just happened at the worst possible time. You going against football, college and pro, and if I remember correctly, you had baseball going on at this time, the playoffs, and the hockey had their little bubble too on top of that. And even before, the bubble and things like that, for one, after the AD trade and the passing of Kobe Bryant, everybody knew the Lakers gonna win this one. Like, it was clear. The only, I guess, suspense was the Heat getting this, what no one expected. Seeing his heel turn. Yeah, the pipe bomb he did, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. It's just hard coming from him because it's not believable. He still gets cheered like a motherfucker. The first signs of SGA being zesty was that Skims commercial. I mean, his skin was like looking a little extra shiny. I was like, your skin looking hella shiny, and it was just the tone of it too. Knowing that was Kim K's brand, the Skims thing looked more like a model photo shoot thing than advertising men's underwear. It was just very odd. So why wasn't Iverson the face of the NBA but Kobe? Because he's more hood, even though he changed the NBA dress code afterwards. That's why. They didn't like that. He hung with street niggas, and he wasn't safe. They didn't like that. They don't like people that aren't safe. That's like what we seen with John Morant. At one point, it looked like John Morant was gonna be the face of the NBA. Like it was either between him or Anthony Edwards. Then all the shit happened with the guns and the antics, and I was like, oh, we can't do nothing with him. We can't touch him. Suddenly, all these different endorsement deals and stuff just started disappearing, and the league had to turn him into the bad guy. So you notice how the WNBA players are starting to wear more skin revealing clothes. They really trying to get that attention. Yeah, especially before the game, they showing them what they wearing, walking through the locker room, walking through the tunnel. Yeah, they doing that a lot more. Because they know what they've been pushing before that wasn't moving the needle. Vince Russo, Jonathan Coachman says Punk should turn heel. They say a lot of stuff. Time to wait for the NFL season again. Yep, 2 months, 2.5. He went to an arena football game. I don't even know they still existed with arena football. Jeff Fisher was the coach. Is it that Nashville team? Was it the Cats or something like that? Fan caught a ball and they came over and switched it out with a new one. Interesting. .832 in the fourth since their last field goal. That's crazy. 84-68 OKC. They just say, you know what? Fuck it. It's third quarter. We ain't even gonna try no more. Connor got 16 in 22 minutes. Out there playing for his life. Everything seems aligned for SGA's team. Has been successful the last 2 seasons. His team will have a new arena soon. He got married, has a kid, all safe options. Wins MVP and probably win finals MVP. And he'd be the first since Steph did it back in 2015. That's what I think too. He gonna be the next one they really pushes the face. Biggest thing though is, can he finish a season? He ain't done it yet. They zoomed in that one Indy fan who looked like he about to cry. He on the verge of crashing out. Over here like this. Stern face man. Indy out here playing like it's pickup. They playing 2v5 pickup. It's terrible. About to be down by 20. Better turn on the magnets for them boys. As Dort just tosses dude off. Say Giles' whole storyline's questionable. No D1 offers, but a recruiter wanted some Doritos. And then he became the number 2 draft pick. That do be odd when they just go to certain teams like that. Biggest thing though is I want to say that was around the time they were doing the HBCU movement too, with Dion and Jackson State, and then they had John Morant with Murray State. They just wanted to do something to get spotlight on them. So who's the next face? Kind of like Pat Mahomes. Wemby, like I said. The Tyrese already back in Indy. Like, all right, man, I'm out, bro. We finna lose. It's been good. I'll see y'all niggas back at the crib in Naptown. I remember him telling me about that too. I think he was on the stream whenever we talked about the whole gun thing when it first happened. Yeah, you see that a lot. Yes, they do that a lot. They do it a lot in wrestling. They do it a lot in the NBA, NFL. Siakam, he did it in the last game at one point too. I forgot what they were doing. I think it was actually after a 3, and he did it. Say it's over. No Halliburton, no chips. Playing like they against the Monstars. I'll say this, even though it's a blowout right now, at least it's not a consistent start to finish blowout like they down by 30 at halftime. So what happens to Deion's son? I guess you're saying what happens if he does get cut, doesn't have an NFL team this year. Worst case scenario, he'll land in the UFL if somebody picks him up. But it'd really be just shaming him because his affiliation in relation to Deion. And they didn't like how he came in the league. Him and his dad talking about what teams they was and wasn't going to play for. I don't think it's a coincidence it happened right before the game 7 or the day before. Halliburton out is just like Tatum in game 7 versus Miami. So you guess the next season the NBA gives the Spurs its push like they did with Houston this year. That's what I think too. Because they've been due for a playoff appearance. Just hinges on if that one skinny French dude can stay healthy. And if he does go down for a few games, do his other teammates step up? Oh yeah, hit that like button too before I forget. Smack that like button. Slam that like button. Choke slam that like button. Said number 0 was cursed. Tatum just got lucky because he was on America's favorite team. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I played basketball, there was this thing about the 00 jersey number. Like if you had that in practice, because I don't think it was an actual jersey you could use during the game, or that one that we had. But anyone who wore 00 either got kicked off the team. What else? Either got injured. Either way, they usually wouldn't stay on the team. And I remember we was picking out jerseys and stuff like that for practice. I think I was a freshman. Somebody mentioned that I was about to grab it. I was like, never mind, I ain't gonna touch that. When they had like 3-4 different examples. Pacers fans already going to bed and getting ready for work tomorrow. That or they drinking themselves to sleep, one or the other. 27 points off turnovers by OKC to Indy's 5. When in the last game, mind you, Indy had forced 12 turnovers, 12 Thunder turnovers by halftime. What's good, Kush? Talia, what's up with you? I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Mr. Easy Land, but he get bailed out. I wouldn't be surprised though, Jordan. That's a Jordan movie, so you already know a lot of those usually win awards. This one's gonna be telling a whole lot of stuff on top of that. And I'm really curious just how far they actually go with that movie as to what they're gonna show, which it seems like they feel really comfortable just making it extremely transparent what goes on. Especially in this day and age with the Diddy case and all these different TikToks and things going on where it's more common. You see people selling their soul, signing contracts, acting weird around execs, acting weird around Michael Rubin, the suspect things they say that they pass as a joke, things like that. So why don't they make Halliburton the face of the league? Partially the team he plays for, but on top of that, the fact that they like the whole overrated thing. People weren't really behind him like that. And some people just see him as corny. And you see they tried that with Tatum. It didn't work because he ain't got no personality. Tyrese definitely got more of a personality than Tatum, but some players it just won't click. And other times it's not necessarily them. Or I guess their overall, sometimes it is their overall image. Like if you too much of a nigga, you not safe. Even if you do everything else right, but you got all these problems off the court, you really not safe to be pushing as the face. It's a game 7, one big ritual, 3-3 series tie. 20-point ass whooping, 7 minutes left. Said Parrish wore 0-0 for the Celtics and he won 3 chips and they retired his jersey. Interesting. That's what I'm thinking. They try to be slick and throw people off because it's a black quarterback. But show how Tom Brady got the rings. Because if I remember correctly, Marlon Wayne's character is supposedly the GOAT quarterback, if I recall. And we know who they associate the GOAT with quarterbacks as today. The same day KD gets traded, the team they draft and wins the finals in 7, his jersey number, or his second jersey number. He said that Aaron the second round is a big joke. I don't know why, but Siakam looks like Fleece Johnson for a second with that mustache. Like him at the line, the way he was staring, I don't know why. I just see Fleece Johnson. And that's an air ball too. Is that Wiggins down now for OKC? I think he getting back up though. So will the Eagles again become Philly quarterback? Hold on. So will it be Triple H to Patrick Mahomes? What? I'm gonna need you to restructure that one a little bit, man. I'm a little confused on that question. Yeah, he is. Marlon Wayans is doing it in the trailer to him. They had a whole bunch of symbolism in that trailer, man. It was crazy. Appreciate it, Kush Dahlia. Appreciate it. And Blackbird, you know that's a damn lie. That is a damn lie. That is not the homie. I don't know him. I don't want to be in the same room as him. I don't want this nigga messing me. None of that shit. Fleece Johnson makes Diddy look like a safe individual to be around. He was like, Halliburton cannot get my finals MVP. I don't give a damn if we lose this game. He ain't taking my shine. So let me channel the Undertaker and Paul Bearer one last time. Pacers sold, yeah. Third quarter sell job. Down by 18. So will Jalen be the face of the NFL to Pat Mahomes like Triple H or Stone Cold? No. No, that's more of a one-time thing. Not saying he gonna be trash or anything like that, but he's definitely not gonna be the face. Not with Brock Purdy as their quarterback, no. They finally killing clock as they should. But they doing dumb shit right now, trying to lose the ball to Indy with the turnover. Let's see what he does. It's like anytime Indy gets a turnover, they do some stupid shit and miss an easy layup. I really just wish they took the ESPN rights away for the finals and gave it to TNT. Obviously, that ship has sailed. That's what they really should do, or do it, give it to NBC. Because ESPN just ain't cutting it. These games feel like a Tuesday night game with the broadcast team. Say Hurts is already on the flag football. Wow, they really trying to mesh the NFL with the flag football thing. Like, they got these flag football players thinking they on the NFL players level because they good at flag football. Like, come on. But no, he's not the face of the league just because they slap him on a flag football commercial for the Olympics. He's not the face. Hurts got carried. Nah, in the Super Bowl, he actually held his own. So even Maple Syrup Boy gonna win a ring before Embiid. That's because that nigga don't play. He always want to sit out and shit. So do I see the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl again this year? NFL might push them again because Bowie makes insane deaths. Nah, I don't think they're going back this year. Especially it don't help they got the Madden curse for Saquon. It ain't happened yet, but we know how that usually goes, especially if you were running back. Did I see the video where D-Wade was on the talk show where he was talking about his nails being painted and carrying his purse? Yeah, I did a video on that one. I think when it came out about 2-3 months ago. Trying to make it normal. Like, this is my travel purse. It's got my accessories in there. I'm like, nigga, there is nothing about a travel purse that a man should have. Talking about it's my merce, nigga. I ain't gonna say nothing about your son, daughter, because I'm gonna be mean. The Eagles gonna start the season 0-2. Don't give the Cowboys a reason to think they're gonna win the Super Bowl with a week 1 win. Do not, because I'm not trying to see it in the chat. Oh, the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl. Nah, don't do that. Don't gas them up like that. The Niners didn't fire Kyle after 2 blown Super Bowls. They'll never fire him. Exactly, that's what they need him there for. Get you to the playoffs, get you close to the playoffs. And then when it's time to throw a lead, blow a lead, especially if you're about 10, Shanahan, do what you do. So you see them making the playoffs. You have some people think they're going to repeat, but you think Lions and Bills. Lions are cooked, man. 2 years ago was as close as they was going to get to the Super Bowl. Wade retired just to push 2 agendas. And got a shitty statue out of it. And a Hall of Fame, but a shitty statue that got him looking like Lawrence Fishburne. How many layups finna get blocked, bro? You don't want the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl. You actually have one more time, but I don't know. Pacers staying on 666 wins, just like the Eagles get their 666 loss on week 1. See the Bears having a great season. I mean, they got Ben Johnson, so that should help their offense. Probably a first-round exit, but the cogs are turning. We'll see with the Bears, man. They did a lot of good things in the offseason last year, but we saw where that got them. They were competitive in games, but shit. Same old Bears. So we'll see, though. So if you haven't won a championship yet as a star player legend, you probably just didn't have you didn't sleep with the right person. Shawayne Wade. You took pictures of that statue at every angle trying to make sense of it. Like, who is this supposed to be? That don't look like Dwayne. That's Dwanye. That's Dwanye Wade. That's who that is. Pacers on a 9-1 run in the last 2-15. J-Dub with the miss. Oh, they let Dort just get that rebound. They just let him run in like a game of 21. So we just hating on the Eagles after last year. Now we're not just hating on the Eagles, bro. I don't give a fuck about the Eagles. I don't hate them. I ain't got no beef with them. Bears need an OC. They hired an OC as a head coach. That's my biggest worry is they hired an OC as a head coach who might not pan out. Because we've seen that shit happen before where they hire some offensive genius and it don't pan out. Remember Adam Gase with the Jets? Saw how that turned out. For the Eagles, the next Chiefs. Would I be shocked if the Eagles go back to Super Bowl? Yes. They need them last minute live bets. Yeah, they getting close to that target number 13. Do I think they get it? Shit, if they keep up this 9-1 run nonsense, they might. He's not the best cornerback, but okay. OKC about to get their first chip. SGA gonna have his jersey retired by OKC. Him, Harden when he retires. Westbrook obviously gonna get his retired. Durant should have his retired there. It'd be crazy not to have really him and Westbrook. It's just mad disrespectful if neither of them do. But SGA will be the next one for sure. I've never seen that show, believe it or not. I didn't heard it's good, but I've never seen it. I feel like it's a Chicago version of The Wire whenever I see like trailers of it, but I might be wrong. So you wonder who the next team they're gonna push next in the NBA? I'll just say wait till free agency. You'll see who they gonna focus on for the year. Who got the star players? Who do you want to key in on for primetime games and things like that? Orlando, that's one of them. Yeah, Orlando for sure. But I see the rate, bro. We done been through this, bro. I'm not even finna answer that because you know the answer to that. If Dable was an OC for Buffalo, then he does only 1 year to have the Giants in the playoffs that year. So eventually Dak will get over the hump and make it to an NFC championship game. That made a lot of sacrifice. This the Cowboys, bro. No. Just no. We seen what you get with Dak, man. So Jordan Love could take a big step. He gonna have to cut back them picks. 93.79 with 4:23 left. So watch Bronny and his pops woman together. Yeah, no. They done with his ass, bro. They are done with LeBron James. They are not giving that nigga no more rings. What happens when the Lakers go to the playoffs post bubble? There was one time they went to the Western Conference Finals, but they got swept. What happens now? They losing 4-5. They done with his ass. They just put him in there just to get some eyeballs on a matchup that might not be that exciting if he wasn't on the team. That's it. Do I think the Lakers win next year? I think they'll win the next one whenever LeBron's gone. So it'll be Luka and whoever the other guard or other forward or star player will be. That's gonna be the ones for the Lakers to win their next chip. Said that kind of like Embiid. He do miss a lot of games like Embiid. I can see the comparisons. But I feel like the expectations for Embiid be ridiculously high compared to Dak. I know they put him in the MVP conversation a couple years ago. But I wouldn't put him there. Russ may never get the appreciation that he did to the games, passing Robinson for triple doubles. I think when he will retire, it'll be one of those what's the saying? You don't appreciate something till it's gone. Because you'll see people who you say Westbrook trash, He washed, he this, he that. Then when he retires, they show all his career highlights. Like, damn, Russell Westbrook actually was like a good player. He was really overhated, not overrated. So if he has a bad, say, final NBA season, it's like, I just need to retire. Then he retires, and the tune might change a little bit. I see the Sixers trade Embiid. They're trying to get a second pick in the draft. They should have been got rid of his ass, to be honest with you. I think the Sixers won a title because it's supposed to be a stadium in Central City. Fuck. Center City in the Asian community. Well, I think Jair Alexander going to the Ravens. He reunites with his college teammate. Someone had a meme. They had like the cycle of being a Ravens fan. It's like gets big defensive off-season acquisition, starts off the season questionable, goes on a late winning streak. Was it playoffs, choke, and back to square one. But can he finish the season? That's the real question. Say about the league gonna hold us in the playoffs. Exactly. He really is. He's one of the last, like, call him blue collar hoopers. He don't care about diving on the floor for the loose ball, going 100%, going 110% sometimes. Kind of like Jimmy Butler, except in elimination games in certain playoff series. Kind of like that. He gonna give his all type of thing. Drew Holiday, that was another player like that when he was healthy. But yeah, Russell Westbrook for sure. High motor even at his older age he is now. How I feel about the Ravens defense with the new changes this year. Same thing as usual. Oh, look at that. They close to that 13 points. They down 12 now. So do I see the Phillies and Dodgers NLCS to get to the World Series? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Dodgers, sure. Maybe they can get there, but even though they won this past year, they like to fuck it up in the playoffs at some point. Especially when it's like really favorable. You think, okay, they should definitely win this. That's when they do some bullshit. Phillies, I know they've been in the mix the past couple years, just knocking on the door. They might not win it, but they knocking on the door. Five combined shots made this quarter. That's terrible. Pacers 9 for 10 from the line, though. Another miss by OKC. 8 for 25 pulling a Jason Tatum. Hell yeah, he is. The Dodgers got to pay their price. Yeah. What's good? Bfyre in the building. Salute. I say it bring a lot of heads scratch if an all Texas teams made it to the NBA playoffs next season. Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, as they were a lottery pick. They shouldn't even won the lottery, but that's besides the point. They did that with the Cali teams a couple years ago. I think it was the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, and Kings all made the playoffs. I think Mahomes' glory days will ever come to an end. I say the dynasty days is over. They might give him one more and that's it. Then he gonna start losing in the playoffs like the quarterbacks he been beating, and actually to some of them. So they let the Dodgers win the same year. Otani had that scandal, yeah, with the translator. And I was back to regular scheduled programming for the Dodgers, unfortunately. It was cool seeing them win the World Series last year. I'll say they have some questionable missed threes OKC does late. But I'll say they're at least smart enough to kill most of the clock. Keeping it at 12 right now, 247. So like right in that Indy striking distance. So it'd be insane if the Phillies won as well. That city would go down. Bro, I didn't realize, I think I mentioned this before, just how crazy Philly fans were until after I think the NFC Championship a couple years ago when they went against the Chiefs the first time. Flipping cars is insane, man. There is nothing that can make me that excited that I'll flip a car. I'd be more surprised that I could flip a car. Like, hold up, I might be a superhero and didn't even know it. So I think the NFL would let Lamar beat Mahomes in the playoffs, not AFC Championship, but like a wild card, a second round in the future, possibly. Yeah, he'd have a good game. In the next game, he'd do his usual choke artist routine. So you think they give Mahomes a farewell chip, kind of like they gave Steph a farewell chip in 2022? I do say if they do give him one, it'll be a little bit closer to the time they decide to move to Kansas City, Kansas from Missouri. I can see it that way. Maybe say opening the stadium, whenever it may be, to a new banner. To the Metcalf Rogers situation sounds like good food when you're not hungry. Like, nah, I don't want that right now. Yeah, the Steelers finna be just a bunch of drama this year. You got a drama-filled receiver, drama-filled quarterback, and it's the Steelers locker room with Mike Tomlin. We know how this is gonna go. Indy down 10 right now. Minute 51 left. Man jumped all over SGA. It was actually Neesmith and Nemhard right there. But Neesmith, the darkest skin one. 30 minutes, 3 points. And you ended with a nigga jumping on SGA. I had a horrible fake, a pump fake. We got no excuse losing to them bums. For real, man. But they got to keep the narrative Lamar struggles against the Steelers. So be 1-1 forever. They got to make it feel like a rivalry. We know this ain't the same old Steelers team. The identities have changed a bit. Baltimore runs the ball, sure. But in the past, it wasn't necessarily a quarterback that lit it up. At times, Flacco with Torrey Smith. But now the identities have changed. Now, sometimes the Steelers had a good offense with the Killer Bees. And now it's just subpar offense, a non-existent offense to the defense carrying the game where they got to get a scoop and score or a pick six. And even if you play on Madden as the Ravens against the Steelers or vice versa, the game scripts out every single time if you're playing on situation mode or simulation mode, excuse me. It's going to be some bullshit from Lamar fumbling or a pick by the quarterback for the Steelers. It never fails. He said, stop screaming. That's funny. 98-87 OKC with a minute 30 left. Indy has one timeout left. I'm surprised they still have timeouts remaining. They'd have to get the Magna big time to come back. Yeah, the clock is ticking literally, so they gonna have to. I think you speak for everyone in the country when you say that. I hate it. I hate it. The free throw fest. That's one of the biggest things about it because it disrupts the flow of the game. Like every other possession, oh, we gotta stop and we gotta shoot free throws, do all this other shit. Like, it's frustrating. What's good with you, B? What's up with
Was you hear me right?
you? Yeah, I hear you.
All right. It's at the meeting. Hold on, I got the other one going on. All right, so be loud. Yeah, what's up, my guys?
What you think of this finals so far, man? Like the
Man.
whole 7-game series as a whole in its entirety.
Oh, the way I thought it was gonna happen. A lot of me and my coworkers was going back and forth, right? About all of them kept saying, "Yo, this is gonna be over in 5. It's gonna be over in 5." And I said, "No, this is the most technically right. This is the most boring finals we had in a while, kind of, right? So it's like no real star quality. The LeBrons, the Stephs, blah, 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 and so on." I said, the only way the NBA can make this up is if they go to 7. That's it. They're going to go to 7. They have to go to 7. That's the only way to make it happen. And people, what did I always say about injuries? Fake injuries, Lobo. At this point, everybody just needs to admit to themselves, all these injuries are fake.
I wouldn't say all of them, but they definitely the
Well,
timing is suspect. I mean, there's other aspects of how players can get
that's what I'm
hurt
saying.
with say supernatural interference. So that's why I don't say every single one.
Let me change that. That's what I mean. Like, it's almost like these injuries, like it's like when they happen. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, ironically, okay, it's always an important game. It's always a championship game. It's always like some important playoff game, whatever it is. Somebody magically all of a sudden gets hurt. Hey, congratulations to OKC, but OKC fans, just know that y'all never seen a ring again no time soon.
They're gonna be like the Denver Nuggets.
Absolutely. They're not gonna get a ring no time soon. And not that I'm wishing negative things on people, but SGA, man, Load, could you just say, like, damn near this was the perfect year for him, right? Like the way they made it. You get the MVP, you get the what's the Western Conference MVP, shit, you win the championship, and you possibly may get the
Finals MVP on top of that. Yeah.
Finals MVP. The things that he's gonna have to do, the things he's gonna have to, oh my god, his rituals is gonna be, it's gonna be shout out to Soul 10 in the building. He's gonna get some punishment, because this was damn near a perfect season for him. I seen they trying to make him into a Kobe 2.0, and it was a couple of things I wanted to say when I got on here. But let me ask you a question. You got, and for all you guys in the chat, so who's the original OKC team? Not Seattle Supersonics, but who's the original Big 3 OKC team?
KD, Harden, and Russ.
There you go. Now, people in the chat, do y'all find something funny about today's news? Kevin Durant, right?
Yep.
He's now a Houston Rocket. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys don't find this funny? I just asked Lobo who's the main 3 OKC guys. Every single person out of the top 3 that played on OKC, what team did they get traded to? Not right away, but eventually all 3 of them got traded to this team. Houston Rockets. KD, he's a Houston Rocket. Russ, he played for Houston at some point. James Harden, he played for Houston, and they all original OKC guys. That was funny when I saw that. That was kind of interesting. Like, so it was like a whole Houston OKC thing. And I find it funny they made sure the trade was announced today, the same day that OKC is about to win the championship. Something that I think what Kevin Durant was supposed to do for OKC, right? But he failed. Bring them a championship, and then long and whole, let's announce a trade that this guy is now going to the Houston Rockets. So it's like KD was still a big deal out of like today was still his day. His former team win the championship. He gets traded to Houston Rockets. That's not going to go anywhere. But I just found that funny, and damn, it was something else.
They getting a new arena too.
Getting a new effing arena. A new effing arena. Wow. See that, right? Thunder, yeah, it's official now. They win, right? Okay, first. Yeah, that's just really, that was really about it as far as what I wanted to say about that. And the number 25 has a lot to do with the name Alexander. If you guys have time, you can go look that up. Just put in the number 25, like put that in like their number 25 and Alexander. Like type that in on Google, and it should tell you a couple of things on how they're related to each other. When you guys have the time, I had looked that up 2 days ago. Something just told me. I'm like, what's up with this whole SGA shit, and it happens to be the 2025. And then I bet on tennis. For those that don't know, I do bet on tennis, and there's a lot of Alexanders in tennis, so you start to see a lot of clues as well. And another guy, Alexander, I think it was Bobic. He had won the tournament. I think it was yesterday. He beat Medvedev. If anybody that knows about that, I don't want to bore y'all talking about that to death. But anyway, I found that funny. And there was another Alexander who had an upset a couple days ago. So I just started putting all the pieces together. And I said, oh, yeah, this is SGA's year. He's going to win that whole Alexander thing. So, I was just looking up a lot of clues myself, doing my own digging. And, hey, I mean, we all know this is all rigged, right? Congratulations to the OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
I mean, man, this whole SGA thing, they're trying too hard though with this whole Kobe shit. They're trying too hard.
They've been trying too hard for a couple years now.
Yeah, for real, right? You notice that, right? Like too hard. Y'all going too hard with it. And what's the thing that we always say, right? Like, it takes a couple years for certain stars to win, right? Either their 7th or 8th year, on average. 6 to 8
like a years. LeBron, a Kobe,
MJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And long and behold.
Tatum.
Yep. Tatum. So everybody out there, just watch the pattern for all the players that you guys like that is a rising superstar, whatever it is. Just don't expect them to win any type of a championship within their first, let's just say, to be nice, 5 years, 5 to 6 years. So yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, that and I think it was in the last championship they had was the Sonics in 46.
When Seattle won, right?
If I recall, either it's been 46 years, it was 1946, one or the other.
Indiana. You saying?
For OKC.
Oh, for OKC.
Yeah, they first championship since then.
Okay. Yeah. And their last appearing championship was the 2012. And then before that it was 96.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they three-peated twice on Chicago Bulls.
And in 1946, Oklahoma A&M, now Oklahoma State, won the NCAA tournament. So go figure.
Oh, that's a good one right there. I like that. That's a good one. Oh, look, LeBrie, she said Alexander's also associated with Michael Jordan.
He was coming back to NBC.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out to her on that one. I mean, whatever that is. I didn't know about that. If whatever, where that info came from, that's pretty interesting. I know it has a lot to do with the number, the number 33, the number 23 as well. The whole Alexander in the year 25. When you get the time,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when you get the time logo, yeah, just there's some info on that shit. Yeah, that's. So what happened? Yeah, what else you was talking about? What y'all was chatting?
Pretty much everything else leading up to Game 7, and pretty much NFL stuff, NBA stuff like that. People asking who gonna win the finals next year, who they gonna push. I said San Antonio, that's one of them. Houston gonna be in the spotlight, but we know what's gonna happen is Kevin Durant on the team. They got to give up pieces to get him.
So yeah, okay, so yeah, all right. If y'all want to talk about next year, the teams who win it next year, who do you think?
Who gonna win it next year?
Yeah,
It's honestly too early as far as who gonna win it next year. But I say the teams they're gonna focus on, San Antonio, the Knicks. They still gonna be in the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming Halliburton gets back soon, Indy gonna be back in the mix, and by default, SGA and OKC they gonna be in the mix as well.
Absolutely.
I don't think they're gonna win next year, but they gonna be the teams in the mix.
Absolutely. I believe that. And I see that they going back to this whole three-way. You spoke about it, about teams from the same state all going to the playoffs, but yeah, it seems like they're getting ready to gear it up again with this whole Texas shit.
Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, possibly.
Exactly, because you still can't get it. You still can't forget about your man Wemby, right? So okay, he's there. Pop is he's still alive. In a good way. He's still alive. So Pop will always be Pop. Rockets. They'll make a big deal out of them, and then you still got. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets was to magically win a championship after Kevin Durant leaves Houston, after he retires or whatever. I will not be surprised. And there's some info that I have that I came up with, but when I get to it, because it's in my notes, I'm gonna pass it on to you, Lo. It's something interesting about Houston, and I didn't even really, I didn't want to make no video about it yet or whatever. I just wanted to see, what was going on. And lo and behold, I see this news today also. But I don't think Kevin Durant's going to raise a trophy with Houston. But if Houston was to magically win somehow, I could see them doing it after he leaves. It has something to do with the numbers. I'll get to it. I don't even want to bore you with that one. So, but then, yeah, for real. Like, because I'm just like talking all over the place with that. If I don't have the facts in front of me, I don't even want to talk about it. But I think the East probably will win next year.
I think they're gonna do kind of that alternating thing still.
Yeah. What you mean, like back
East West champion type thing?
Yeah, I just feel like we live in a parody world now. No, Cactus. I know Pop retired from being a coach, but he's the what is he? He's something.
Is he kind of like in that Phil Jackson role where he was with the Knicks?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's still in the organization. He's not the coach no more. Yeah,
president of operations or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I know he's not coaching anymore, but yeah, he's still with the organization because you know, Cactus. As long as Pop is there, San Antonio as far as the popularity. So I think when he's gone, then I think it will die down just a little bit. Even though your man Wemby's still there, but Pop. When you think of San Antonio, let's be for real. You think about Pop. You think about Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker. I mean, let's be for real. David Robinson.
Yeah, the main ones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, we live in a parody world, and I don't think we're going to see those threes and anymore. Those Golden State Warriors, the Kobe Lakers, Kobe Shaq Lakers, Michael Jordan Bulls. I don't think we're going to see that. I think it's just going to be back and forth for a little bit.
So you don't think any team going to be a dynasty anytime soon? Because usually they got at least one per decade.
Yeah, that is true. And the last one we had was Golden State.
Yeah.
Right. And when did that technically end? I would say technically ended when they won their last one, when they beat the Celtics, right? You could say.
Nah, they dynasty really ended after they lost to the Raptors.
Oh, you talking about 2019?
Yeah, because there's like a sizable gap between them.
So they just let them win that other championship because of the whole arena shit, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
to finally give Steph his props in the finals.
oh yeah, because they always saying that because he never got the MVP, right? Of the
Correct. And that follow up was the gold medal in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It actually put him like it officially stamped him, like for sure. Shit. I don't. New York Knicks, forget about it. I keep telling people that's never gonna happen. The most you could probably see them is maybe in a play in a championship. But like, listen, I'm here. I'm from New York. It's never gonna happen, people. It's never gonna happen. As long as I'm gonna be alive, it's never ever gonna happen. People could just get that out their mind. It's never gonna happen. I do think Giannis is going to the Nets,
To the Nets? Why you say that?
the Brooklyn Nets. This guy has been around here a lot. He's been around here a lot. A lot. I know you can say business. Yes, yes, I understand that. But you're around New York secretly a whole lot. And you just bought some property. Now we don't know if you're gonna live in it or what you're gonna do with it, but you just bought something fresh out here. And I think he's going to the Nets. I think it's going to be a team that nobody expects him to go to, and I think it will be here the Nets. I don't think it's going to be the Knicks. I know people saying what's the other teams that people were talking about?
Golden State, the Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers too.
That's just to keep them in the conversation like usual.
Yeah, they there you go. So yeah, so people can go pull a plug and say, oh yeah, I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet that. I don't see it. Is it possible? Yeah, but I don't see it. I think he's going to the Nets. I think Giannis to be a one-off. He always rubs me as a one-off type of guy too. Like when them Shaq days is over, guys senses with multiple rings, and I think they got to share the wealth.
Yeah, with him, it was more so the international angle. And they tried to make him the face too. I mean, lucky for them, he actually has personality and he's a likable player.
Yes.
But even then, it was things on the field, on the court. He taking too long at the free throw line, things like those. People started questioning his game and dissecting it more, saying he ain't as good as he was hyped up. Which I mean, you could see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you like Giannis as a player?
I don't mind him. I just hated how they overrated him at the time. I think it's kind of simmered down now, but it's just like
I agree.
Someone said it the best. He's like what they say? He's like a LeBron. He's kind of him and LeBron are basically the same player, and I just added that he's like LeBron with accountability.
Wait, he's LeBron with accountability?
Mm-hmm. Because he'll actually say it's my fault we didn't play good, or
like
I should have played, but he ain't throwing teammates under the bus the same way. He has gotten some coaches fired now, but it's kind of to the point now where it's like, how many players haven't gotten a coach fired? How many star players? Luka did it. Giannis, Trae Young's gotten a few. He got a few coach bodies. Obviously, LeBron, like it's more normalized, but don't make it okay.
Okay. Look at that comment. Celtics versus Lakers finals would be nice. You think they're gonna bring that back?
Not with LeBron on the team, though. We won't get that until
I agree. Yeah, he got to leave.
He's gone. It's gonna be a Luka thing. He gets revenge on the Celtics type situation.
Yeah. As much as I hate Luka, I do think that he should maybe at least have one ring. At least I don't like the guy. I can't. I know how I feel about him. I can't stand him. I think he would be good for just one ring. But I do agree with what you said about they're not gonna make this Lakers and Celtics rivalry with a LeBron James. That usually happens with people who are like natural Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like Even before Magic, you got to think about what's the name, the whole Bill Russell and the Chamberlain days, and the things like
Elgin
that.
Baylor's, the Jerry
Exactly.
West's of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, the natural, like the natural Lakers, the natural Celtics. LeBron's not a natural. When you think about LeBron, let's keep it 100. We think about him on the Cavs. There's some people that think about him on Miami though, right? But he's a Cavs type of guy. I don't think he'll fit in that whole rivalry thing. When they did it with, think about it, people. They didn't even do the whole Celtics and Lakers rivalry when Shaq and Kobe was playing. For those that, if you really think about it, they didn't do it.
That's true.
They didn't do that. But when they did it, when Shaq left and Kobe was still there. Because we had two finals, one in 2008 and one in 2010. With Kobe's Lakers and, was that Paul Pierce's I call
Celtics, yeah. The big three.
Exactly, the big three. So it was Paul Pierce is more of the leader because he was there from the beginning. So going back to your point, that's why I say I don't think they'll do a LeBron James with the whole Celtics rivalry. I think it's after he's gone. Now Luka, he's not a Lake, but he's gonna bring that star power. LeBron's almost out the door, so I can see that.
Yeah.
I can, even though we still call that we call that the David Stern
era of players. Yeah, he's one of the few. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his baby. That's not your man Adam. That's not his shit. That's not really his thing. So we're gonna see how they're gonna do that if you see Lakers versus Celtics. But I don't see it with Tatum because I think they're about to break up anyway.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a different team next year.
They have a different team, so I don't think we're gonna wait a couple more years if they're gonna do that, or give the Lakers another rival.
And they desperately need one.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know who can raise that trophy up next year. I guess we just gotta pay attention to all the clues,
Let it play out a little bit. Let free agency happen
yeah.
during the draft. Players getting traded, things like that.
Exactly. What player are they focusing on? OKC's a one. To me, they're one and done. It just feels like a one and done. This don't feel like the beginning of no damn rivalry.
Dynasty, it feels like a here you go.
Yeah. Here, take this. Like you said, we got the new arena coming. And I gotta say this for the people that's been listening to us and the things we've been saying for a long time. You guys gotta pay attention to these damn clues. Please pay attention. We're not 1000% always right, but we are right. Pay attention to the clues. Once again, if you know that they have an arena coming, pay attention to that team. Football is a little different, as you guys know. It doesn't always work that way with football. Going to the Super Bowl usually is a gift, for those type of teams that's getting the new arena or the new stadium or whatever you want to call it. But for the NBA, usually those teams do win. 100% of the time, no, but at least 90% of the time, we can say teams that will get in a new arena, yeah, they've been winning.
I mean, yeah. Before we get to this question, I mean, just look at this. This is before the game today.
Yep, I saw that. Yep, I did. I commented on that. I commented on that post too. I did. I said it's bait.
You said it's bait.
Yeah. But I wasn't saying who was gonna win the game, but I said y'all gotta pay attention. Don't just go out and make bets based on seeing this. That's what I meant when I said that. Don't just run out and do that shit. What do you think about that when they did that?
That's them saying, you know what? I guess we got enough people on the Pacers before the game. Let's show them this now, because they had the leaked script earlier Saturday.
What was that?
It had Indy winning 131 to 128, and it's wrong because they got Indy at home. Obviously, they were the road team.
Yeah, that was a dead giveaway, right?
Yeah, I was like, yes. I was like, they're cooked. Perfect.
And if anybody didn't pay attention to that shit, yeah, they probably wouldn't win. So, I think it's gonna be a close game. You know where they got everybody? With your man Halliburton winning. Whenever his buzzer beaters.
People assume that's what's gonna happen in this game.
That's what. There you go. Man, these. Yo, shout out to these leagues. I'm not gonna lie, they do it so good. The way they rig shit, oh, the way they do storylines is so interesting though. I mean, I like how they do it. It's funny. I just laugh. I laugh at them like, here we go. You already know they're gonna try to make it seem like Halliburton and he's gonna hit the three. He's gonna have the last shot before the game. That doesn't happen in game sevens. That's too much of a risk.
I feel like with the NBA, it's more like the WWE with how they do it. Because as far as like the WWE now, because it's just so lazy. Like it seems more, I guess, predictable.
Yeah.
And they haven't pushed enough of their younger stars. They waited till now when LeBron's on his way out, when Kai and Steph and KD are all, and Russ and Harden are all on the back end of their careers. Like, oh, now we got to start pushing Tatum and pushing Giannis, which I mean, they did a good job with Giannis and Joker, but we got to start pushing him, SGA, Halliburton. Now it's like,
yeah, it's
you
almost
end up like the WWE.
Facts.
Bunch of stars you want to push that no one cares about because there's no connection to them.
It's almost like, bro, it's almost like they don't care. You feel that way? Like the NBA is like, yo, we don't care. We get enough eyes. It don't even matter at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. They got the TV deal. They got to get the money. It don't even matter.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. People are gonna watch. They're gonna tune into game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the way to 7 if possible. And we're not seeing a set. I don't. Do you think we're gonna see a 7 anytime soon again?
Nah, we not.
No, right?
And this was an underwhelming game 7 in the finals too.
Yeah, yes.
It wasn't like the 30-point blowouts by the second half bad, but still it was like, damn. Like they just said, fuck it, we not even gonna play in the third quarter despite being up at halftime by 1.
I wonder how many game 7s did we get since I'm trying to think of the year. Okay, I don't know, maybe since 2000. Starting in 2000 all the way to 2025. I wonder, maybe 5, right?
You're talking about finals game 7s?
Final game 7s, yeah.
Let me see.
Starting from 2000. Like off the top of your head, people. Anybody in the chat, don't be doing no research. Off the top of the head. All right. So how about we do this? Let's start from 2000. Oh shit. Started from 2000, right? That ironically, that was the Pacers versus the Lakers. Right? No game 7, right? 2001, no game 7. 2002, no game 7. 2003, that was the Spurs versus 2000. The Spurs versus the Nets. Yes. Yeah. Spurs versus the Nets. No game, obviously no game 7. They smacked them. 2004, the Lakers versus Detroit, no game 7. There you go. 2005, the Spurs versus the Detroit. Right? So that's one.
Yeah, that one's 7.
So that's one we got. We doing this off the top of the head, y'all. What, 2006 now? That was the Heat and, that was a game.
6.
That was 6, right? Okay, yeah. So 2007, we already know what the Spurs did to LeBron. They 4-0 pieced them. So no. 2008, right? No, that was 6, right? That was game 6 when the Celtics beat the Lakers.
That was 08. They went 6. Yeah.
Okay. All right. 2009, Lakers versus the Magic.
Did not go 7.
It didn't, right?
Nah.
Okay, no. All right. So far we got 1, y'all, since 2000. So 2010, I know that for sure. That was game 7.
Lakers Celtics, yeah.
Lakers Celtics. All right, so we got 2. Hope I'm doing good. All right. So what's the next year? 2011, right?
Nope. 2013 Spurs and Heat. Ray Allen shot.
Spurs and Heat. That's 3 so far. 2014, no, right? 2015, no. 2016, LeBron and the Warriors. We all know. So that's 4.
And that was the last one before tonight.
And this one was 5. Let's fucking go, baby. Yeah, and this one was 5. 5 game 7s. You know the NBA do not like game 7s, yeah. It's been 5 since 2000.
Shout out Derek P. Said, let's go OKC. That's his team. I know he happy about that. Also, shout out Lone B.
Right.
And shout out Derek P. If I ain't said it already. Appreciate the super chat, my boy.
I know Derek P happy right now. I know he happy.
Hell yeah.
I remember I think last time he was on a live, he said something about they was gonna win. I heard him say that.
Yeah, that's the team. He been a fan of the OKC Thunder since like the OG Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook days.
Shit.
Yeah. So he saw he went through it and stuff. He went through the trenches when they lost Kevin Durant, man.
Yeah. They always had the potential. I mean, I always felt like the team had the potential, but you know how that goes.
It's like Russell Westbrook plus the Spurs and mid-range jump shots equals they finna lose. Every single time they played them niggas in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was always on TNT. It was like, oh shit, here go Russ shooting these dumbass mid-ranges and these dumbass threes. Or just waiting to the last seconds of the shot clock to give it to Kevin Durant so he can take a horrible shot against 2 people with a hand in his face. It's like, damn. Like, we know what's gonna happen. They want the Patriots of the NBA at the time.
That was a good one. He said the Patriots of the NBA. Yep.
Grumpy coach players that you really don't think about, who some are viewed as some of the greatest of all time, and you might forget they was Hall of Fame. It's like, oh shit, they did have so and so and so and so. And then they would get key players well out of their prime too on their roster at certain points, like T-Mac. Was it Kenyon Martin was on the team at one point? Who else was past their prime? I know he wasn't necessarily a star, but Boris Diaw. So yeah, that's the Spurs for you, man. Now Chris Paul, which he just need to retire, man.
Bro, just oh my gosh, just I don't like him. I never did. I don't like Chris Paul. It just I never liked, to me personally, I never liked the whole the point guard name. Maybe I take nicknames too serious, because it's like you have to be a winner to get, these names. It's kind of like Playoff Jimmy. What the fuck does that even mean? You know what I'm saying?
Pandemic
like
P.
Yeah,
you know, no, it wasn't Playoff P. My bad. Playoff P.
Playoff P and Playoff P. What's his name? I just mentioned him. Yeah.
Playoff Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy, and then what they got?
Clutch Jalen Brunson's like, y'all lost.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all not winning. Where are these names coming from? Why y'all calling them that? They're not raising no trophies. Who cares about what Playoff P? So that just means you're a loser. Playoff Jimmy. That just means that you're a loser, in other words. Point guard.
I'd say really like the point guard. I don't get mad about it because he's one of the last traditional point guards in the league. That's really why. First, a lot of ones now, they really just 2 guards that happen to be point guard.
Okay, if you want to put it like that. So if you want to put it like that, yes, that's a good point. So if we go by him being a natural point guard, that's a fact.
That's why. He do some whole ass shit, politics behind the scenes for sure. That's why a lot of players don't like playing with him. It's not so much him on the court, unless you're playing against him like Kevin Durant, where you're gonna fly up and do all this other bullshit. But it's really just the conniving.
Yeah, the sneaky shit.
He's a politician in the locker room. That's the problem.
And then for those that don't know, he's a part of the President's League. I mean, not the President's League. He's isn't he the president of the Players Association or something like that? He still is.
Yeah, I want to say it's Jaylen Brown now. I might be wrong.
For real? It's no longer CP3?
I know CP3 was one of them. I know Jaylen Brown got a spot. CJ McCollum was another one who had a spot too. On there as well.
Okay. So I always took it as they're gonna take care of CP3 anyway. He don't need the championship because he's the one helping calling the shots. That's how I looked at it. So, it's a give and take. You ain't gonna get the rings, but you want to get the power behind the scenes. He's got
No, finish what you finna say real quick.
Oh no, you know he's guaranteed a job soon as he officially retires from the league.
Oh yeah,
So
front office, easy. I can see him. He's a front office guy.
yeah,
They would say good defense, not chucking up threes, not a super team. What more do people want? I mean, they were chucking up threes at certain points, more so when they were trying to sell. Defense, they got away with some stuff, but I mean, at the end of the day, they still a boring team to watch, and it's more so officiating wise, not necessarily, I guess, they fault.
Yo, Lo, do you ever notice the way you be saying shit? This sound mad funny, like in a funny way. I
What you
mean,
mean?
no, the way you say it's like with no care, like yeah, it's just boring. The way you say it just be mad funny, like yeah, it's just a boring team to watch. Like damn, you shot him down.
It's like, hey,
I'm
it
mad,
is
right?
what it is.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
Like, shout out to them. Hey,
Yo,
they boring as hell to watch.
like trash. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. I heard your football. I heard all of y'all chopping it up about football too. And you saw the freaking. What do you think about your Pittsburgh? Officially now, now we know who the quarterback is. Officially, we already know he's gonna start. We know the bullshit. How far you think they go?
Same shit. They gonna get the jersey number that Rodgers has and win. So 8, maybe 9 to keep that streak alive and not lose the season. But I mean, it's
No playoffs.
no.
Damn. Nah. So then this whole Rodgers shit is a waste, then, bro.
Get some jerseys sold.
You know why I said they might still be a runner up to go to the playoffs? Because what do we always say about draft years? Usually that team, they at least go to the playoffs for at least one game.
Usually.
Yeah. Usually, maybe it may be broken this year. It may, but Detroit, even the Packers last year, they won. No, they made it to the playoffs and lost, right?
Yeah.
But so they made it, but still, lost. The draft was in Green Bay. Detroit had, and so on. So that's the reason why I'm keeping an eye on the Steelers. I think I did say that some couple of lives back. Like, yeah, you pay attention to the Steelers.
We called that shit during the Pick'em show. That's gonna be one of the things they're gonna talk about in the NFL for free agency. Where's Aaron Rodgers gonna go, and he's gonna be linked to the Steelers. And let's not forget the last quarterback who wore number 8 for the Steelers. How'd that turn out?
Not good, right?
Open the door for Ben Roethlisberger to take over after Tommy Maddox got hurt in week 1 against the Ravens.
Yeah.
And they got Will Howard on the team now. From Ohio school, just like Ben Roethlisberger from Miami, Ohio.
So your man Rodgers is gonna pull a Hurdy. Or somebody
could happen. Who knows?
Well, there you guys go. But damn.
The injury history is there.
Damn. I mean, I've never had high hopes on the Steelers organization ever before. So, damn, that's a good one. That's a shit. I don't know what to say about that one. That's a good one.
So the Steelers only make the wild card at best. Pittsburgh and Washington hosting the next 2 drafts. Only good thing I'll say about Pittsburgh is Cincinnati refused to address the defense whatsoever. They're doing everything in their power to make it all on Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. So the defense going to be worse this year than than last year. And the Browns, I mean, hell, they got 5 quarterbacks on their roster. I don't really have to say much about them.
Bro, their whole fucking squad is a damn everybody on the damn team is quarterbacks. That's how many quarterbacks they have. Like, get the fuck out of here.
There's always something in the news with Shador, whether it's speeding or how he interacts with Joe Flacco, or Joe Flacco's grumpy old Joe now.
Bro,
ignore the fact Dylan Gabriel hasn't done good in practice, even though it is practice. It's a mess. Kenny Pickett, they don't even talk about him like
at all. God damn. You're right. They just let him. I I don't know. They just let him rock, right? It was more of he seems like a sympathy pick because he played for Pittsburgh in college, right? So it's like, yeah, you can stay here, right? He was in Pittsburgh, yeah.
Wait, who again? Oh, Kenny Pickett, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's more like a sympathy pick for me. And he's one of those. I don't
Connor was the same way too. James Conner played at Pitt, and he ended up playing for the Steelers. So,
So one of those type shits. Yeah, you can get out of here, bro.
said we knew he was signing with Pittsburgh because they played the Jets in week 1. They basically traded quarterbacks, and it's funny, both of the Steelers quarterbacks from last year ended up in New York. Wilson to the Giants, Fields to the Jets. Now Aaron Rodgers goes from New York to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Now, okay, who you guys are picking? Me? I'm saying it right now. I know Pick'em show ain't start yet, but just for this game, I'm taking the Jets.
Who they playing?
Right. Who the Jets? The Jets is playing the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, ironically, Aaron Rodgers, leaves there and go. And I'm saying it now. I'm taking the Jets week 1. Unless something crazy happens, and but as of right now, just as of right now, I'm on the Jets. I don't care what the line is. I'm taking the Jets week 1 against Pittsburgh.
So Shadur Sanders will not be the starter week 1. Browns will start out bad and then the storylines will be Browns need to play Shadur. They so all over the place with them storylines, man. I'm just waiting for the mess to unfold more during the season, because that's going to be a whole rabbit hole in itself. But now my last thing before we get up out of here, what are your thoughts on the league clearly trying to move the Grizzlies to Nashville? Because they've been a lot of players all of a sudden talking about, I don't feel safe in Memphis as a player and all this other shit.
Is that a for sure thing, or is that something that they're trying to push?
This is something they're trying to push.
I think that would be bad. I think they need an NBA team around that area, though.
They do. They're a basketball city anyway. They tried the Titans there, but couldn't get attendance up there. So,
yeah, I think that would be a bad idea, because if you take them away, then now you're gonna have, I don't want to say a big, huge gap, but okay, that's the DMV area, right? No, I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about the Wizards. If you move them, if you take them away, Washington Wizards, right? So
that's about the Grizzlies, not the Wizards.
But wait, I thought you were talking about the Wizards.
Nah, the Memphis Grizzlies from there
y'all.
To Nashville.
Okay, so you're talking about the Grizzlies, not the Wizards. All right, let me change all that. Well, then you would know better than me then, around for somebody that's over there. I mean, that's your neck of the woods. What would that do?
The violence would only go up, because there really wouldn't be shit else to do in Memphis no more. Besides, obviously, like, the music scene and Beale Street, things like that. But at the same time, they always shoot themselves in the foot, kind of like the Titans, ironically, who were in Nashville. The Grizzlies in Nashville is sickening. Yeah, it just watered down the Grizzlies. It wouldn't even be the same old Grizzlies. Like, they have a Memphis vibe to them. They've always had that, especially grit and grind era. They've had a certain vibe to them about them. Even with John Morant, they did, but it was not the best vibe.
So, okay, they so you're saying it's not really, it won't be much to do, right? But how many teams is in Nashville? And I'm talking about like everything, all leagues. I mean, on average.
You got soccer, hockey, NFL, if you want to count Vanderbilt, college sports. IndyCar comes there for the Grand Prix now. NASCAR comes there for the Cup Series race that's sold out the last 4 years it's been there. So, in Nashville is a fast growing city. It's the white Atlanta.
It sounds like you want to see that happen.
I don't.
No?
I really don't even care for Nashville. I think it's an overrated ass city, to be honest. Like, sure, there's plenty of stuff to do, but I ain't trying to see people with cowboy hats and shit everywhere I go downtown. Like, it's gotten mainstream as hell. Like, when I was a kid going to Nashville, it felt like I'm in Nashville, but it wasn't like big city over commercialized. Nashville felt like it's got its own culture to it, and now it's like, nah, too watered down, too gentrified, too overly gentrified, should I say?
Nashville, take them over there. They'll have the space, so they have to build an arena, right?
Or they could share with the Preds at Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah. I mean, so get rid of Ja. Start new. Get rid of him.
Yeah, they like to do that.
Yeah. I figured
like 10 colleges there. Yeah, they do. Tennessee State is over there. Fisk, that's another one in Nashville. I think it's Fisk. Belmont, that's Nashville. They got some schools out there too.
That's what I'm saying. Nashville. I hear Nashville a lot when it comes to sports. So I'm like, moving them over there, it can, bring more light. But like you said, all right, now you're taking away a team, in Memphis, and Memphis hardly has any as it is, not that many. So like you said, yeah, people may just be running up in stores and running up on people on the block more because they don't have nothing to do. Especially them little YNs out there. Yeah, whatever that term is, that stupid term. But damn, yeah.
Placing something don't need to win anytime soon. Yeah, that's true. They don't. ATL has never tried to win the finals in a long time. Charlotte, it's clear they don't care.
Come on now, yeah. Charlotte's like a nah.
And Nashville getting a new football stadium for the Titans. Let's not forget that.
Oh yeah.
A new Nissan Stadium with a new franchise quarterback. Let's not forget any of that. So there'd be all the more reason for them to want to. They could bring, say, a Super Bowl, host the Super Bowl there, host the national championship in the new stadium. Yeah. So Nashville definitely popping. They've already had the NFL draft there.
You think they go to the playoffs this year?
The Titans?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Wild cardish,
It's possible they're in a weak ass division.
Yeah. I'm always on the fence when it comes to them.
Yeah, I'm the same way, especially growing up watching how the Titans move and what bad moves they've made over time. I was watching this YouTube video on like every quarterback after Steve McNair and how they did, and it's just a bunch of misses. They had Rusty Smith, they had Jake Locker. Obviously, he couldn't stay healthy, always got hit. Vince Young, we know about that. Malik Willis, Will Levis, how bad that was. Mariota was doing good until the injuries. A lot of people don't know that. They just think he just fell off. No, it just happened after he got hurt. And playing an offense that really wasn't best suited for him after that. And then they went to Derrick Henry being their main mode of offense, and then people caught on to that, and he's your whole offense. Tannehill didn't play good in the playoffs, but they overpaid for him. It was like he combined for like 100, or he averaged like 150 yards passing a game or something in his playoff games with the Titans. It was something that wasn't even impressive.
So McNair obviously was the best quarterback to ever come out of that organization.
Hands down.
Right? Hands down. Yeah. I agree. I don't think you can debate on that one. He was. It is what it is. Yeah. We're gonna see what they do this year. It's just they always come up short. It's one of those, they just remind me of, they give me like, no, I was gonna say the Ravens, the Ravens actually give me Milwaukee Bucks vibes. But Tennessee Titans, when they had Derrick Henry and they had their little run, they was giving me Milwaukee Bucks vibes too. Like, y'all winning and shit, right? But like when it's time to do something, when it really counts,
they not gonna show up.
They not gonna fucking show up. Like, that's the vibes they always give me. So yeah, I'm not sold on them too much.
Yeah, especially I don't need no Titans fans talking about it's our year and all this shit.
Every
Especially if they start off hot too. So we'll see, man. We shall see. You got any closing thoughts before we get on up out of here?
Oh man, nah, I think I said the things I wanted to say, but I want to hear what new news we have. Oh yeah, just real quick, y'all don't find it funny this whole McGrady shit been going on, and he played for the Rockets, and then ironically the Rockets make a big trade, and that was just a little something I just wanted to bring up. Like it's just funny when they pay attention when you hear from certain players just automatically just pop up on Twitter or on the news and things like that. Like it comes from somewhere, and that's all I wanted to say. McGrady, he played for the Rockets, and they was posted up a lot of pictures of him and clips of him on the Magic, but mainly on the Rockets. And then ironically, we get this news with the Rockets and shit like that,
and the Magic before that with Desmond Bain, mind you.
People,
which opened the door for that conversation with the Grizz to Nashville and all this other shit.
Wow. And the last time the Rockets won the NBA Finals, who did they face? Orlando Magic. Jesus Christ. That's all I wanted to say. In 95 too, by the way, y'all.
Damn.
Crazy. It's crazy how things connect. That's why I may be overthinking at times, but little shit like that, I just be connecting the dots. Like Tracy McGrady, where did all this Tracy McGrady talk come from? Yeah, if I had Shaq, I would have won. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's something that you could have said last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You've been out the league for a while. Why all of a sudden all of this Kobe? Yeah, if I had what Kobe had, whatever.
Yep, interesting things, man. Yeah. And it's been a fun NBA season, rigged NBA season, NFL season, all that stuff. Everybody been on from B, Fred, Derek, the whole list goes on, man. Have fun chopping it up with y'all. Mm-hmm. Got some new stuff dropping very soon. Something I've been really excited to release, and just something I've been really putting in a lot of time and thought into. So stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are out. Y'all have a good night.